Hello, everyone, and welcome to our fourth Joyous Everyday Living radio show. I'm Beth Amine, and I'm here with my dear friend Patty Teal, and we are hosted by Hub for Humanity. The basic focus of all the segments of this radio show is how to consistently craft a joyous, fulfilling, expansive, fully vibrant life and really maintain that state of vitality throughout your entire life. So it's cultivating it and then maintaining it. And a main component of this joy is having a fabulous relationship with your wonderful self. So, and today we're going to take that a step further, and we're going to explore bringing that fully loved self into relationship or connection with others. So, our weekly topics are kind of circuitous. They overlap and they really create a tapestry that weaves all together so that you have information that you can feel, experience, and of course enjoy. So we'll be referring back and forth to one thing or another, even though we focus on a certain topic, because all the topics really interweave. And that's a certain way that I enjoy learning and really works for me. It's rather whole, like painting a whole picture and then exploring a part, like a mandala, maybe something like that. So that's our approach. And we also are going to reference my book here quite a bit, called Joyous Everyday Living. And certainly we're going to reference the tagline, which is party till checkout time. One of my, I know, I just think that is, that's a focus for sure. So here's a little recap. I'd love to recap our three previous shows. The first one was filmed or recorded around New Year's, and we decided to pick a word that gives us a focus for the new year. Now, this isn't really a resolution or a goal. It's more like a guiding light. So if you kind of fall off your happy place there or whatever like that, you can recall your word and it sets you back straight. Mine was unlimited because I had been working with a lot of sort of self-imposed barriers, and so I'm feeling like this year there's sky's the limit for me. And I know Patty picked courageous because she's got lots of new territory to cover this year. So your word will come to you easily, but pick one if you are going to join in with us, because it's a great thing. It's a great little tool to have. And then the next thing that we did was we wrote and imagined the story of our lives that reflects our biggest, most positive dream. This is a blueprint for how you want to design your beautiful gift of a life here on our glorious planet, really. And we structured this in 4 segments. There was self, relationship, personal relationship, abundance or money, and your career or your work in the world. So you can explore each one of those segments and dream it up just exactly what you want. No holds barred, even though you may be experiencing something different in the moment. But it doesn't matter. You want this to be your absolute dream. And along with that, it rewrites the story of the past that you may be telling all the time. And part of the work here is really believing that you have the power to create your own future through your words. The foundations of this show that we do have the power to create and alter our own reality through the power of our consistent thinking and how we visualize and all the actions that we choose that are related to that. So, and when we do this rewriting of the story, it rewrites the past. And often so many of us hold on to our stories of the past. And really, it causes us to get more of the same. And we are looking at an expansive, fresh, new point of view that offers the next place. So, and also, in moving on with your story, we discuss creative process, or so that when you tell a new story, a whole experiential journey of transformation begins. That there's a letting go and a recreating. And we talked about self-love and being kind to yourself and believing yourself as a major component of traveling through this journey that having a dream leads you on. It's really quite extraordinary and quite fun. And this is true personal power, creating the life of your dreams. So now the next step, and that brings us to our topic today, is that now we're unfolding our fabulous selves. Who and what do we want to unite or join with? So what are we going to do with ourselves? Where are we going to take it? So chapter 6 of my book, Joyous Everyday Living, is called Join. And I just want to read a topic here. And it says that we humans are a combination of socially interdependent beings and the individual creators of our own lives. So yes, we create our own lives, but we do that in the context or the framework of this innately being biologically wired as a tribe or a social group. And studies show that those with no social contact live sadder and shorter lives. So it's a crucial component to joy and longevity, is how you socialize, how and who you socialize with. And even our bodies are cooperative components of trillions of cells that constantly communicate with one another. And on a molecular level, we are all interconnected. So there really is truly, in the most ultimate or quantum reality, no separation. So this is a collaborative and cooperative model that I'm looking at so much in my own life right now. And that's why it's coming up for me, and that's why I wanted to talk about it today too. And in my nearly 50-year career as a visual artist, dancer, performer, party starter, I did so much of it on my own. I was like a troop of many. I did the marketing. I had the power tools. I dragged all the wood around. I did all the designing. I negotiated the contracts. Again, did marketing in various ways. And guess what? That model is just no longer working for me. In the last couple segments, I briefly referred to like kind of awakening I had around the holidays, otherwise known as a bit of a health issue when I had to take some time off because my container, this body, and what I could do myself couldn't get big enough to encompass my dream and where my life wanted to expand. So it just, in other words, I can't do it by myself. And that isn't even a fun way to do it. So this collaborative, cooperative model is sparked a very huge change in my life. And it involves working with other talents in the creative mode. So even this radio show is a symbol of how that is unfolding in my life. It's all about connecting with Patty and other talents that work with the web and the social media and all the interact. And I get to interact with all of you. It's an unlimited amount of people that I can collaborate with and get your ideas and add it to mine. And it's just the richest, most wonderful feeling. I'm really feeling this enormous opening that includes who I am, who I have become, the fullness of that with all of you. And it's so incredibly beautiful. And people assume that because I'm on stage so much and I'm always emceeing huge shows that I'm the most social person in the world. But I do, a lot of the work comes from being alone. And I realize that what I can accomplish on my own is so limited. And haven't I kept saying that my word for the year is unlimited? So I'm looking forward to my unlimited life with all of you and intertwining and, of course, hearing everything you have to say and having that add more and more to our growth and our information and our sheer pleasure of being together. So a couple of examples popped up immediately when I had this topic. Every week I also talk about conversations that I just hear around me that are synchronistically the same topic as it seems, what is up to talk about in the week. So I had a really close girlfriend talk to me. We were just chatting, and she's a really brilliant artist and has had a very long career as a painter. And she said, Beth, I am just so over being in my studio alone. She said, I've got this new thing happening. You want to hear? And I said, yeah. So she said, I want to paint dancers. So I'm going to go to troupes and schools of dancers and go to choreography meetings, and I'm going to sketch them all there before I go to my paintings. Then I'm going to do the work, and I'm going to have collaborative art shows where I screen or project the art on big screens, and I have everybody dance in front of them, and we're going to collaborate the choreography with the moving art. And so I went, okay, then, good. Getting out of the studio and really having interactive art after all these years of solo painting. And of course, we're grateful that we had all that time. Like, I love my own company, and I find myself endlessly entertaining, and I'm glad I developed. I do. I could go on forever just hanging out with me, but at a certain point, you want to party, and all the wonderful things that happen, like my girlfriend and her art and the way it's expanding because of that. And the skill that she's gained through being alone for so many years can now be used in collaboration. And then yesterday, we were going to film our show and record it, but we had some things come up, so it went to today. So instead of recording the show, I went to this amazing gathering. It was yesterday, the 50th anniversary of a very tragic oil spill here that I'm in Santa Barbara. That's my home base. That happened in Southern California. 3 million gallons of crude oil in our beautiful channel, and absolutely devastating to our sea life. And it was the 50-year anniversary of this spill. And a huge theater called the Arlington Theater was filled to capacity with all these people. And I was completely moved because this community is so concerned with the legacy that it provides. I almost get teary for our beautiful natural environment and all the creatures that is their right to inhabit health in a healthy, protected way, our marine life. And there was such a range of people who attended, from so many students to the people that had been there nearly 50 years ago, such as myself. And we want to join, and they are so concerned about their future that they don't even have a future. And we want to join and give them hope. And it was the most beautiful showing of community. And from that incident 50 years ago in 1969, we had the first Earth Day that was joined by millions of people. And that started the precedence of Earth Day all around the world, right here from Santa Barbara, which was extraordinary. And it started that year as well, all the environmental protection acts that have come into being. From the community standing up and saying, we want a future, we want to live here together with all our species and our future and our children and our grandchildren. So it's just kind of this bonus along this theme of the absolute delightful beauty of community and the power of it, the total power of it, adding to your personal power that we have been exploring together. So collaborating in business is like a big one for me. It's a big part of my new dream, like the radio show, so that we can reach more people. And also, as I look into my past, as you probably will, or things come up from creating your news story, I had this kind of habit of carrying heavy burdens. Like, I had to be the one with the jigsaw sawing out the big whale on the wharf, and I had to be dragging stuff around and just carrying the heavy load of the business and the family and the house. And oh, excuse me, sorry so much. Because you know what? I was just going to say, this weekend, I got a sore throat because I needed to rest. My body, it sends me these signals. So I thought, oh gosh, okay, so what am I going to do with this? And I got the idea to post on Facebook, like, what's your favorite remedy for a sore throat? And I got over 200 responses. It was crazy. Of like everybody's favorite remedy. I mean, the popular ones were, ginger, lemon, and honey with a saltwater gargle. But I got a lot of whiskey and chocolate. I'm sorry, even talking about it's making me cough as an alternate. So, you could pick. But I think the reason I got so better so fast was I had this amazing outpouring of love and this discussion that went on between a couple of hundred people about what's yours, here's mine. And it was so much fun. I could have gone to the health food store and bought some throat coat and asked the guy, but it was a way to engage in community. And I just found it endlessly, really, really fun, and had more tips than I could ever have imagined that we may even put in a book sometimes. So there's many ways that you can join and live in community. I wanted to read you just a little bit of science from the book for a minute, because you can approach this from so many ways. And our biology, our innate biology is tribal. So being members of interdependent groups ensured successful survival for our ancestors. It is in our biology to join together. It's also our deepest natural instinct to know that nothing is separate in ultimate reality or space, as scientists are now discovering and verifying. Everything and everyone is interconnected. And the mental and physical benefits of having an active social life are many. People who socialize regularly live longer and have stronger immune systems even. This creates resilience in maintaining a healthy body throughout life. It also interacting with others boosts feelings of well-being and decreases feelings of depression. Research has shown that one sure way of improving your mood is to work on building social connections. And here's one that I really love. Reports have shown that connecting with others can boost brain health and even help in preventing age-related cognitive disorders like Alzheimer's disease. So people who connect with others generally perform better on tests of memory and other cognitive skills. And in the long run, people with active social lives are less likely to develop dementia than those who are more socially isolated. And of course, being a dancer, dance is my most favorite way to socialize because it combines both cognitive and physical activities. Your brain is creating new neural pathways all the time in response to a partner or to others, and into how you're going to move your body in different choreographed ways. And while I was waiting for Miss Patty to come today to our meeting, I got this post on Facebook. Someone sent it to me. She said, Beth, you probably know about this, but I think you'll be interested. So I'm going to just read it to you. It's dancing makes you smarter. It's been scientifically proven that the only physical activity to offer protection from dementia is frequent dancing. Reading, 35% reduced risk. Bicycling and swimming, 0%. Crossword puzzles, at least 4 days a week, 47%. Dancing frequently, 76%. Protection, reduction of the possibility of getting a cognitive disorder. Study made the suggestion, do it often. Seniors who took dance lessons 4 days a week had a measurably lower risk of dementia than those who only did it once a week. So there you go. And I wrote in the book, too, kind of some suggestions on how you could do some extra socializing this week. Volunteer at a local charity, invite a friend you haven't talked to for a while for coffee or lunch, FaceTime or Skype someone, engage in conversation, or say hello to people in your service industries, people you get gas from, or check you out at the supermarket. Go to the spiritual center of your choice. Go to the YMCA and get exercise in a social way. Go to concerts. Go to your neighborhood community centers. If you don't have any immediate family, find some children at a local after school and be a volunteer. You can be a volunteer grandparent, or if you're not that age, read to them, help with homework, and invite people over for bingo, Monopoly. There's a lot of ways. And if you are, I was also thinking, if you're in a retirement community and you're in a walker, you can take a walk with a friend just around. It's so much more fun that way. And if you are, if you do are isolated in a wheelchair, you can play games with your caregiver. This is what I do all day long with my people with dementia and Alzheimer's. You can bat a balloon together. You put on your favorite song. Everyone has a favorite song. Hold hands and just do a chair dance. There's so many beautiful, beautiful ways to join. So I want you to pick one this week, something new. And even if it's not new and you've just been thinking about it, go do it. Then I want to add this. This includes asking for help. That is a big one for so many of us, right? How about it? Allow someone to help you, especially you caregivers and all of us that do so much for other people. Like, how would you like to join in asking somebody to help you do something? And it super makes it more fun. Like me and my sore throat. I mean, 200 people wanted to help me get better. So you find out that if you ask, sometimes it's really much easier than you think. So what can you delegate, caregivers? And also all you others. How can you celebrate with others? How can you join with others? And how can you share your load and delegate with others? So find somewhere to give, receive, mingle, blend, dance, do it with others. Let's do this, and let's join others as the fully joyous individuals we are, contributing to and enjoying our big cooperative community that's all around us in our cities, in our homes, in our country, and in our entire world. Yes, we are all together. So given that, that's our theme for today. I'm very inspired about that. Next week, I'm thinking that we might go over believing. Now, belief, do you actually really believe that you can and do create your own future? That's so fundamental, everything that we've been talking about. So we'll try that on our next episode, because anything is possible, and we really want to research a bit how your thoughts can and do create your reality. So I'm Beth again. We're going to have our Unplugged section with Patty Teal next, which I love the most because, we just get so real. And you can reach me and buy the book on Amazon, or you can go to www.joyouseverydayliving.com. Email me personally with your story, your word, your way you joined at Joyous Movement, JOYOUSMOVEMENT @gmail.com. And in forthcoming episodes, we're going to have ways for you to link in with us and all the activities and products and things that we're doing. So I look forward to our community that is being reached through this show. And I look forward to meeting you and spending more time together. So Patty, where are you? Are you there?
Hi, Beth. Yes, I've been listening with great interest as always. You have such great advice. And I was just thinking, when you talk about community, how very much my girlfriends mean to me. And really, they are so much my extended family. And a few years ago, I moved away from Santa Barbara. I try to get back and visit as much as I can. But you know what I miss the most? And I do have some friends here, some very lovely friends, but what I miss the most is laughing with my friends back there. Just absolutely, we get each other, and sometimes laughing to the point where we've got tears streaming down our face, just that silliness. I mean, that is so very, very important. And it takes a while to get friends like that, those very, very dear friends, and yet they are so important. We've got our families, and then we have our friends, and our families, of course, we love them and love spending time with them, but to me, my friends, my very dear friends, are the family that I chose, or they chose me, however it happened. And we just get each other. I don't know.
I totally understand. That's our extended tribe. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, I know there's nothing like it. So it's
No,
incredible. Although you
there.
can crack jokes with other, you can try laughing with anybody because that's so.
Yes. And sometimes they might look at you like, I will. And they can be lovely people and you can enjoy spending time with them, but like not everyone gets my sense of humor. And I understand that can be considered a little weird, I suppose.
Oh gosh,
But
yeah,
you and
yeah.
I, we get each
Never know.
other,
You never know.
and it's,
I think you're
yeah.
very funny at all times, of course. But I think you're
I'm
right.
not trying to,
We have our
yeah,
family, our blood family, we have our close friends and our tribal family.
yes.
And I do still
Hmm.
believe there's a world out there of new friends to be made, so that it extends from family, dear friends, new friends, even casual interactions with people. A smile to anybody that you meet is always a gift to both
Right.
people.
Yes, and you're right. There are always more people to meet. One of the wonderful things that I have loved about this adventure, moving out to the high desert in the Sedona area, is I do have some friends that are out of my probably comfort area of friends that I would have made had I stayed in Santa Barbara. And some of them, I I just really have gotten to know them and enjoy them so very much, but they were not my typical people that I would have reached out to become friends with. And that sometimes happens in a job situation. You're thrown together with people, and gradually you really learn to appreciate them, but they're just not the people that you would have normally gravitated to. So that's interesting. And I very much appreciate that. And then, of course, there's the people that maybe you have to think twice about whether they're the right people for you to be hanging out with regularly, because they may be a little bit negative. And so I was going to ask you what you thought about that, because it's not that they're bad people, but they've gotten some negative patterns going, and you're trying to break free, or maybe I am, to live the dream that I want to live, but you've got somebody that's so very unhappy, and you don't want to be unkind, but you can't let it just drag you down either. So what do you think about that?
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess that depends on if they're in your house or not. You have to, I
Oh,
don't know.
that's true. If they're in your house,
You have
it's a
to
real
deal with that
problem.
there. But I'm really a firm believer. I do believe in unconditional love, but I also put myself first. And if I don't mind listening or tolerating, but I will not have negative people in my life. If I will not invite them or interact with them on any consistent level. In the workplace, I don't know what, I'm sure you have to have a level of tolerance about that, but I do believe in understanding and listening, but if where I have control over it, I don't pick that. And I invite positive energies into like-minded energies into my life. And basically that's what I get. It's like you get a little force field. So people that are going to constantly bring negative stories and really take your life force. I mean, there's only so many times I want to listen to a negative story. It's just like, wait a minute, this is my precious time on earth. I'm not going to, I'll listen to you once or even twice maybe, and give you unconditional love. Yes, I hope you can move, okay, that's the way it is for you. But I'm not going to consistently get involved if there's no commitment to move out of that story. Now, that being said, I have a little more being self-employed and all that. I have a lot of control over the people that I deal with. And, but I think that in general, the general rule applies. If you stay in a positive state, and you are just not going to attract a lot of people that are going to constantly, uh, put a lot of negative input into your world. So, like attracts like, I think. And those who do come, you limit. I absolutely limit. I'm also, as I said, I can probably someone that's on a job, a corporate job with a lot of people. They have to get along in a lot more ways than I do. But I really do not allow negative people in my life. Period. I
Yeah.
mean,
And
that's
then
just
there's
it.
people, yeah, there's people too that are not necessarily always negative. They're really wonderful people,
Uh-huh.
but they have a little bit of dream buster in them. And so I think that I've learned that there's certain things you don't share with certain people because
Oh,
they want to know, well, how are you going to do that? And blah, 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 blah. And pretty soon you find like you're almost like defending your dream. And so you have to be, I think, a little careful. There's certain people that are going to be so excited for you and are going to be helping you every step along the way with their emotional support and their encouragement and their excitement. And then there's some people that are just kind of either wired that way or they've learned this behavior of, kind of bringing up everything that can go wrong. Well, how many businesses fail and just kind of negative, negative, negative. And so while they may be good people to share certain activities with, they may not be the ones you want to share your dream with.
oh, that's very, very perceptive, Patty. And we talked about it a little bit last week about how putting your worth on the opinions of others is one of the most unstable places you can ever be. And I think that you do have to be careful who you express your dream to, because people, they don't even know they're doing it, but they have such
No.
a narrow frame of reference that they
Mm-hmm.
can't get outside their own box to think that other possibilities are happening. And it's very easy to kind of get sucked into that narrowness. And then there goes your expansive ability to believe. So I really think then you also have to do something like I thought about this radio show. I mean, I'd love for it to be everyone to just love it and join us and be part of it. But if that doesn't happen, it's okay too. I mean, I'm not going to put that out there like that, but what I'm trying to say is there is so much that it's giving me to do it that I'm going to do it regardless. It's just giving me so much focus and so much pleasure and so much joy that that is a stable place for me to stand. It's what do I want and what do I enjoy and what means something to me. For me, what means something is to go deep inside myself and have it come out and then share it in delight. So and people will try to rain on it, and not out of being, as you said, being bad people, simply because their frame of reference isn't broad enough to encompass your dream. So either keep it to yourself or keep it with people that you know are supportive. Like I would tell you anything of my dream because you're going to go, yes, Beth, yes, how can that happen?
And I feel the same.
Happen.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
the opinions of others, ooh,
Yeah.
you got to be careful.
And the other thing I really rang true is talking about the sense of community and the collaboration. And, that's this whole network. As co-founder of the Hub for Humanity Network, I really want all sorts of people to be sharing their dreams and their not only their dreams, but their expertise. And so I don't want it to be all baby boomer. I don't want it to be all old or all young. I want it just this big mix of coming together and communicating. And eventually I want it to feel like a community where we can reach out and help one another. This is just the beginning, but I'm very excited about it being a hub, a community of, in some ways, we're like-minded people in that we believe in a dream, but the interests, I want them to be as varied as humanity itself. So that's really exciting.
Oh, it is. I'm so glad you felt it. It's so weird how my weekly topics come up. Like I just don't even think about them or anything. They just show up. Each one and like, okay, and then here's the next one. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then it shows up all around me. And I'm so glad that you're feeling the same about like community.
And because you're in that creative space, which is such a great place to be. I know in years past, I put together recordings for children. And when you're in that creative space, like, I don't know what I'm going to write about next, what song I'm going to write next, but you just start watching. And I remember, what character should I have in this particular recording I'm thinking of? And this owl, I mean, literally almost crashed into my windshield. And, just like, okay, it's going to be about an owl. It's going to tell this next recording. But when you're in that wonderfully creative, receptive space, you get signs from the universe for sure.
Mm-hmm.
These synchronicities, these wonderful signs come to you. And I'm not sure I'm 100% there right now in that space, but I'm going to be trying to get more and more. And I think whether it's spending time out in nature, meditating, dancing, all these things, so that you can be in that space where wonderful surprises happen. That's where I want to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And we all have that capacity, every single one of us. That's why I always suggest, and believe me, to myself too, because I get wound up. Take 5 minutes out of your day, look at the sky, breathe, and just, it's a completely mystical experience being alive on this planet. If you even, take a minute to check it out. Oh my gosh.
Just take a minute. Oh,
oh my God, I'm in this black body that's running itself, and I got all this awareness, and we're flying through space, and we have a moon, and it's beautiful, and there's like this immense variety of life, and just like, oh wow, it's pretty mystical. So you want to be in that space at least a couple of minutes a day,
right? Because every spiritual expert just continually tells you, when you are in that wonderful space of gratitude, that's when wonderful things are going to happen.
That's so true. Appreciative. Anything
I
else?
Appreciate you, Beth.
Oh,
I just want to say I really appreciate you. And I appreciate having this time with you every week. It's really fun. Yeah.
Super fun.
So I'll let
Anything else you think we want to cover or talk about today?
Well, gosh, I'm looking at my notes as you were going on about recapping, and remember, now I changed from just courageous to courageously unlimited, so I stole your word there too. So it's kind of
great.
Yeah, it's tweaking.
I forgot.
Yes,
I'm going to be courageously unlimited too.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
we're twins.
Yes.
Okay, I have to share this thing, but it's so good. I didn't write it. It's my girlfriend told me about it when we were taking this Latin dance class. Her name's Bernie Bernstein, and I'm sure she's got it copyrighted. But she said, I'll tell you how I'm going to do my year this year, Beth. And she said, I'm a warrior, not a worrier. Blew my mind. One letter. And I keep saying, I'm a warrior, not a worrier.
I should
outrageous.
Yes,
that is like brilliant. Bernie Bernstein. Yeah. So nobody else wrote that. She originally made that up, and I'm gonna put that. We're gonna use that somewhere and give her credit.
I love it, because I am a bit of a warrior, but I'm going to turn into more of a warrior with the courageousness and not so much worry, because worry just does you absolutely no good.
It's a mess.
Yeah, it's no good at all.
No good. It's a mess.
Cut it. Yeah, get rid of that warrior, but become the warriors that we're put on earth here to be. Anyway, well, thank you, Beth. Another fun Unplugged episode.
Thank you. This was really awesome, and we will so look forward to seeing you next week with possibly our topic. It may change from them, but it's, do you believe that you can and do consciously create your own future? So once you have that, it does make you unlimited. If you're really on the fence about it, we'll see. We'll explore that a little bit. So bye. It was my pleasure to be with you and Patty, and loads of love till we meet next.
Till next week. Bye.
Bye. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Joyous Longevity. I'm Beth Amine. I'm here with my dear friend Patty Teal, and I'm participating in this wonderful show called Young at Heart. So we have a couple of topics that we'd like to discuss today. And last week we talked about the happiness and joy of being good to yourself. And we picked at least one thing that you could do for yourself that would be fun and make you feel loved. It could be having a mani-pedicure. I'm so curious on what you did. Maybe it was watching your favorite show or eating your favorite dish or your favorite dessert or taking a walk or taking a break, whatever made you feel like really loved, a pampering thing that you did just for yourself. So I'm interested to see what happened and if you really enjoyed that practice. As part of self-love is the way we create joy and the joy in our joyous longevity. So one of the most important aspects of joyous longevity is keeping the company of and engaging with others. In other words, a social life. Science has proven that those who socialize often lead happier and healthier lives and have stronger, more improved immune systems. We are in our very deepest biology tribal creatures, and we're an interdependent group of individuals. So we create our own individual happiness and then we bring that happiness into a group, and that greatly enhances our own health, longevity, and of course joy, our feelings of happiness and joy. So I'd like you to explore this week on how you can join others. You could take a class at your local retirement community. If you're very mobile, you can volunteer. If you use a walker, you can get a friend and go on a stroll together, look at all the sites around your retirement community. If you're seated, you can do a puzzle with a caregiver or a friend or a family member. And if you're a caregiver and you're looking for some way to engage with a client who may be just seated or have very limited abilities, you can ask them if they know any, they can tell a little bit of a story about themselves if they remember. Or if you have a client with Alzheimer's or dementia, you can do a simple movement class, either using one of my videos or even make it simpler. Put on one of their favorite songs. There's got to be a favorite song that they totally resonate that comes from their era. Many are from the 40s or 50s, and there's so many great songs. It never fails to spark the mind and the joy. It bypasses the verbal part of the brain and goes right into the pleasures and the nonverbal center. You'll find that maybe your clients may be singing the song. Take their hands, look in their eyes, and have a little joyful chair dance. You won't believe what a great sense of connection and engagement it creates, something as simple as that. So I want you to find a way to join with others next week because it's going to make you healthier and make you happier. And of course, I have to throw in this little teeny bit about dance. It's been scientifically proven that dancing makes you smarter. It's the only way, the only physical activity to offer protection against dementia, and that is frequent dancing, and it offers a 76% rate above all other forms of recreational activities in creating new cognitive paths and great mental health. And that, of course, adds to your longevity. The thing about dancing is that it's also physical as well as cognitive. So you're using all your systems. And it's emotional when you feel the music. It's everything. So I'm going to suggest dancing, of course, even chair dancing, even dancing with just your hands if that's all you got, or tapping a foot if all you got. But I want you to go through a number of ways. I'm going to give you a really quick list, although you're going to create your own. Volunteer, talk to a friend, have coffee, use Skype, FaceTime, engage in conversation, or just say hello to people you meet during your day. Go to a spiritual center of your choice. Exercise socially, like I've been saying, even the YMCA. Visit your neighborhood community centers. Go to concerts, art openings, cultural events. Take a class, even if it's online and you're sitting at your computer. Oh, no, that's not that social. Well, bring a friend and learn something new. Do a recipe together. Make a recipe together. Yeah. And if you don't have any immediate family nearby, volunteer at a school. Help with after-school programs. Kids can come to you. Invite people over for board games. sing. So for longevity and brain health, find social activities that you can do that give you great pleasure. And so I'm going to ask you to do that this week and tell me all about it. You can reach me at joyousmovement@gmail.com. So find a way to be together, share, let me know what it is. And I'm so thrilled about joining you. It's incredibly meaningful to me, and it's such a gift to be with you every week. All right, joyous longevity. Talk to you later. I'm Beth Amine. Bye.